Welcome back to the analysis show, #PLFans. If you've got anything for Leroy, anything you want to discuss, what we've been talking about on the show today.
Havertz, I thought, showed some good touches. I think that we will see more of him. I think to go to Brighton away in an evening game when you're going to have to be asked to do other jobs, I don't think you'll always see the best, but he showed a real grit to be part of a team win, and I'd be really pleased with that, knowing that what can come at the other end as the season goes on. Werner is
just one
lively.
One point, Leon, on Havertz. His average position was actually deeper than Kante, which actually just backs up your point about the hard work and the effort that he was prepared to put in.
Yeah, you want to see him at the top end of the field. That's where he's operating. He won Player of the Month a few times in Germany last season, playing and scoring goals. But when you bring in a new guy and you want him to be a part of what you're buying into, he certainly showed that.
This was the guy you mentioned. I think we're all excited genuinely about looking at Timo Werner. He can play here very much up as a 9. He also likes to drift and get into these areas over here, Leon, when he starts running at people. And we saw that was evident last night. He's very, very dangerous in those sort of positions. Does it add a totally different dimension to Chelsea with this guy and his pace?
I do. I think it does. You know, you have Giroud before him and Tammy Abrahams, who are different kinds of strikers. This guy, his speed off the mark is absolutely incredible. You know, that I think if that was somebody else, that pass from Jorginho may have been a yard too far ahead, but not him. He's so quick. His speed of thought is what impresses me as well. He's not just quick where he can chase after a pass. He gets 2 yards from anticipation, and then, you know, I like this. You know, we were talking, should he cross that from there? Opening game of the season, striker, go on, go try and score a goal. And he plays off the shoulder, he makes that run. If that pass is a bit better, a bit more on it, he could potentially be through one-on-one. But I think he will really offer something else for Chelsea this season. He'll be able to stretch them, and then by doing that, we'll offer more space for a number 10 where Barkley's operating right now.
He's got that effortless style, and he's so fast, but it's such a natural run in action. It's so easy for him and so comfortable. And he looks, as you say, looks like he's playing in a pair of slippers. He's just tiptoeing across.
Really communicating. And what he's asking for Havertz is, where do I show him? Do I show him down the line, or do you want me to show him inside? Just look at his reaction. I'll play it on when he doesn't get any information. Turns around and goes, come on, what are you doing? And I like that. I think that's somebody who's going to go in there and demand things from his teammates. We know how important it's his new sign. He's making his debut. He's still a very young man. He's quick. He's going to score goals, but he's going to demand things. What other Chelsea strikers demanded things from the rest of their teams? Drogba, Diego Costa. It really does bode well for the future. Just on the back of that, I just got this one for Leon. He says, how many goals do you think Timo Werner will score in this Premier League season?
You want an exact number? I'm going to say please. 25.
25. And this one's for both of you. This is from Caleb. He says 4 centre-backs, 1 spot beside Thiago Silva. Who partners in this season? So you've got Christensen, Rudiger, Zuma, Tomori. Who's going to partner Thiago Silva?
Good question. Very, very good question. I think Frank might have designs on Kurt Zouma. I think if Kurt Zouma is led, and I think that's what he needs to. I think that's what he needs to be, almost a bit like Marcel Desailly and John Terry all them years ago. When you had John was so capable and he had so many great attributes. He needed someone with a bit more presence to just keep him right. And Thiago Silva, to me, Leroy, would seem like the perfect guy, Leon, to maybe nurse a younger centre-half.
Well, that's the thing. It's a great option for John Terry for Thiago and Frank Lampard to have that. They've got the experienced man and looking for someone to play alongside him. And I think he's spoilt for choice and will enjoy that choice all season.
Great stuff, Leroy. I know you've got a video for us. Come on, what is it?
It's from the Ghana Lions, Andy. Loads of colour, and we're just going to finish with that. Look, a little bit of skill. Can you do this, Leon?
I couldn't do it when I played, and I certainly can't do it now, Leroy. Thank you for asking.
It's terrific, isn't it? Great skill, great ability. I couldn't do it. What I do is I kick it in the stand. But look at that. Great colour, all the way from West Africa and Ghana. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, give him a round of applause. Terrific stuff.
Great stuff, Leroy. Thank you very much. That ball still didn't go down. Leon, top stuff. Great stuff. Kepa Arrizabalaga is a goalkeeper that tends to make headlines, not always for the right reasons. Look, that's part of the business, Rob, as you know. But Liam, what did you make of the one that skipped past the Chelsea goalie last night at Brighton? Did you think that's one that ultimately should be saving, or do you think it's a good shot?
I'm expecting him to save that. I think, yes, it comes through a few bodies. He may be unsighted for a moment, but it goes under his arm. I think that, yes, it's very difficult because it bounces just as he's about to try and get there. But the top goalkeepers, he's been an awful lot of money paid for him. He's playing for Chelsea. They expect him to make saves from that distance. I expect him to make that save. Rob, what about you?
Yeah, a case for the defence of Kepa here. I think if you could play this replay, and there's one that there's a strike, and the ball he hits it, and it's not the hardest shot, but it rises, and it's about when it goes past Kurt Zouma, and which I think it's the second player that he goes past there. Yep. It's about Kurt Zouma's head height, so it's gone up, and then from there on, so it's travelled probably 10 yards, it's going up, and from that point, the next 10 yards, it's dipped 6 foot. So goalkeeper. And this is a great angle to show it because these cameramen are experienced guys and he loses sight of the ball. So he goes past Kurt Zouma and you watch, it goes past him at head height and then drops. And the cameraman travelled probably 10 yards, it's going up. And from that point, the next 10 yards, it's dipped 6 foot. So you as a goalkeeper, and this is a great angle to show it because these cameramen are experienced guys and he loses sight of the ball. So he goes past Kurt Zouma and you watch, it goes past him at head height and then drops. And the cameraman loses sight of the ball as well. But as a goalkeeper, you're getting the sight of the ball. You're seeing it rising up towards the top corner. Now, if it, for argument's sake, if it hit Kurt Zouma on the head and then did the same action, I think, as a general rule, people would turn around and say, well, it took a deflection.
Took a deflection.
Rob, that's some defence, Rob. He's got to save that. It goes under his elbow. He must be a mate of yours, him. Come on, must be a mate.
Well, you know he is. But I'm saying it's not as simple as it seems because you're diving thinking that ball's rising and then it dips as far as it's risen in the same length of time. And it even confuses the cameraman.
Rob, one thing. The reaction here, look, of this bit, when it's actually just gone in the back of the net, he drops his face into the turf because he knows he keeps getting done by those shots from distance, and it's a bit of a worry for me. I know you've worked with him, Rob. Very briefly, how good is he? Is he going to be Chelsea's main man for years to come?
I'm beginning to question that. I think it's difficult. Frank came out and backed him yesterday. Whether that lasts or not, there's rumours of him out, but getting another goalkeeper in. I think he's certainly got the ability. And as I said, first off, he'll be disappointed that he's let that in. That's disappointment. He knows that he's just not reacted in time. I'm trying to explain that it's not as simple as it seems. But I think long term for him, I think it's going to be one that he might have to spend a period of time sitting out to then come back. He's very, very confident. He's very, very sure in himself. And sometimes the ability to take on board stuff is something that's missing. And he sometimes you say, turn around and say, he loves to be quick. He loves to be fast. You say, well, a bit like, just like Jordan Pickford, sorry. And you just sort of think, no, just calm down.
Yeah, just
like Nigel Martin, as Leon's saying, just be steady. Yeah. And I think that's something that could be brought into his game.
Rob, that's great stuff. Really enjoyed your input today. Thanks for joining us, pal.
Cheers, Rob.